All right, real quick. I want to go over just two things from our game that I thought, one that I thought was awesome, was great, and then one that we want to work on. So, the most awesome play of the game that I saw, a little bit of a breakaway. We got the ball back here, and I was over here. I was a little farther away on the other side of the pitch, but then I saw the breakaway, Jasper running, and Hudson are on this side, kind of standing back. I think we had Colston over here. It was either Ender or Sloan on this side, and then Connor in the back right. And I can't remember where all the defensive players were. I know they had someone here, and then obviously they had their goal. And don't mind the numbers. So something like this, we actually had a good break where we had a good look at goal. Now what I love about this is Jasper was pushing the ball, and Hudson R playing this too didn't bother just sitting back, letting Jasper do the work. He runs ahead, and Jasper does a sweet right foot hit over to Hudson. And I can't remember if he missed the ball or went out, but this was like perfect. This is what we're talking about, right? This is where you have someone occupying the near posts, and then you have someone taking up the central, drawing the defender and passing it away and getting a good shot. And it doesn't matter whether it went out of bounds, the goalie got it. Whatever happened, that was perfect. And for Hudson to really deliver on a strike like this, he'd have to probably be practicing with his left foot. And so that's why it's important, whatever side of the field on, that you can use your right or your left to strike, to pass. But that's really what we want to get to, right? And I think if we had made it perfect, if Colston had run down, or we had seen Sloan or Endo, I can't remember who was on this side at the time, running down right and really getting to that far post as well, near post, that's the kind of action we want to see. So those are the games. We kind of started off timid where people were holding back, but that was really a play that stood out to me, where Hudson was running forward looking for the pass, got the pass to him, and that's a dangerous position for the other team. We're putting ourselves in an opportunity to take a good shot on goal. I loved it. Okay, the other thing that I want to work on, and I saw this towards the end of the game more, just as we were getting tired, but we'll switch sides of the field since we're on the far side. I'll switch them around real quick. So, what I noticed... Oh, actually, I'm messing this up. There we go. Sorry. Okay, what I noticed, and I think we even had a seventh player in at that point, is that the red players, or the opposing team, were bringing the ball in. We all jumbled, but we all crashed towards the ball, right? As soon as they got just a little bit of penetration, it felt like everyone shifted over, which allowed the other team, really get that ball up there. They were just camping out here, right? Like, this was a crash in, easy pass over and shot in. I think that happened twice. So we call it, there's a phrase my wife used, I think I like it a lot. She said the boys are following the ball, right? And that's kind of what happens. We see the ball, we get tired, and we're all like, oh, someone's got to get the ball. And that's something we'll have to work on in practice. I actually liked something we did at the last practice we did indoors. I thought it was a brilliant move, is that if 2 players or 3 players got too close together where they could hold each other's hand, they had to hold each other's hands for a minute or two. Just to show how difficult it is to play soccer when you're that close to each other. And I think we'll go back to that so we can start working on spacing. And this is where communication becomes really important. We all can't crash in and leave this backside open. Teams are getting good enough, boys are getting skilled enough where it's an easy pass and shoot, or down to that far side. And they did that a couple times. It was good for them, hard on us to see us crashing, right? A little demoralizing. So what I want to see is a little bit more communication. If you're close enough to hold someone's hand, you've got to say, okay, who's got the ball? And you got to call it. Say, hey, if you're the 3 and you say, I've got ball, what does the 2 need to do in that point? If the 3's all the way over, well, maybe the 2 needs to shift over. He needs to find someone else to guard, right? So he's got to shift. And it was getting pretty crowded down there. But we've got to shift over where someone's taking the ball, and then we're trying to find cover. We've got to trust that people will do their job. And then we want to cover in a spot where if the 3 gets beat, hey, we're coming over. They take a shot on goal. We're trying to block it with our body and get it out of there. But again, that's something we've got to work on in practice, is really not following the ball, understanding positions, being aware of where all the other players are on the other team. And as the goalies get more important, and I thought Sloan coming out, I knew that was going to be a difficult time. I really liked his energy, his diving in. Obviously, the other team crowded in when he had the ball, which made it hard to get it out of there. But goalie is going to see the field better than anyone. So if we can develop a player with a high soccer IQ, whether this year, next year, the years after, who can really help direct the defense and say, hey, 2, cover down, or 4, and just telling players where the other team's at. That really helps because the goalie can see the whole field. All right, so those are 2 things. There's obviously, I think, more things that went well, more things that we could work on, but those are the 2 things that I saw that stood out to me. So thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next game.